I have made the calculated decision. I'm not going to partake in this unrivaled 3-on-3 basketball league. I think it's a joke.
Have you seen those viral clips of Angel Reese missing completely wide open layups? It's surprising to watch a pro athlete struggle with fundamentals that most high school players have down. Looking at some of her game footage, it really makes you question how she managed to reach the WNBA in the first place.
Has no skills. She has energy. She has an attitude. She'll rebound you the basketball. Great.
What makes it even more surprising is that, despite these obvious flaws in her game, Angel Reese often celebrates like she's redefining women's basketball. In today's breakdown, we'll look at why many analysts believe her skill set still has major gaps, and why comparing her to Caitlin Clark doesn't hold up. The game footage really tells the story.
She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do.
Have you noticed what happens when Angel Reese gets the ball close to the rim? At times, it's tough to watch a pro player struggle with finishes that many high school athletes handle with ease. Her inconsistency around the basket has become one of the most noticeable flaws in her game, something even casual viewers are starting to point out.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball.
In a recent unrivaled league matchup, Angel Reese surprised everyone by passing up a completely open layup, choosing instead to throw the ball back to a teammate rather than taking the easy score. This wasn't a smart extra pass. The replay clearly shows she had an unobstructed path to the rim. The clip quickly went viral, with commentators noting what the decision might reveal about her current confidence level. To many observers, it looked like she didn't fully trust herself to finish one of the simplest shots on the court.
Like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon.
When you take a closer look at Angel Reese's shooting mechanics, the issues really stand out. Her release point varies. Sometimes she lets it go high, other times noticeably lower, which makes her shot feel unpredictable. Around the rim, her footwork can look scattered, with extra steps here and an off-balance plant there. At moments, it can resemble a player still ironing out some of the game's fundamentals.
Down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup and throws it to the girl.
Now look at how other rookies entered the league with far more refined finishing ability. Even players who aren't considered elite scorers often show greater confidence at the rim than Reese. Take Caitlin Clark, for example. She's a similar height, yet her technique is on a completely different level. Her finishing looks clean and controlled, which only makes Reese's inconsistencies stand out even more.
Nothing to do with having to shoot the basketball. And I give her credit. It's self-aware.
What's most confusing is how a player can make it to the top tier of pro basketball without fully refining such a basic part of the game. It brings up real questions about her development path. Were these issues never emphasized in college? Was she able to lean more on her size and athleticism against less challenging matchups? Whatever the reason, those shortcomings are now much more visible at the professional level.
Has self-awareness, and that will be a good thing. If she just wants to be the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, she can have at it. She can go at it.
Is Angel Reese among the least effective finishers in today's WNBA? Both the stats and the film certainly raise that argument. For someone with her size and physical tools, her efficiency around the rim is surprisingly low. And the eye test only backs up what the numbers suggest. She still struggles to finish consistently when facing pro-level defenders.
Last night, I'm sure there were some red faces in the crowd caused by uncontrollable laughter, as the crowd of dozens of people witnessed Angel Reese once again struggle to make routine layups.
While Reese's issues finishing at the rim are clear, many fans and analysts point to her rebounding numbers as evidence that she clearly deserves her spot in the league. But here's the angle most people never mention. What if those numbers aren't as straightforward as they look? What if a noticeable share of her rebounds are actually the result of recovering her own missed shots?
In this whole fake double-double deal where they're feeding her the ball at the end of the games and she's getting garbage balls.
Let's be honest. Angel Reese is averaging an impressive 13 rebounds per game as a rookie. On paper, that looks outstanding. But if you actually watch how she's grabbing those boards, you start to see patterns that make you rethink just how impressive those numbers really are.
There was speculation that Angel Reese was missing layups on purpose. The theory was the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie was missing easy layups so she could get the easy rebound and make the shot.
A large portion of Angel Reese's rebounds actually come from recovering her own missed shots. Given her struggles finishing at the rim, she naturally generates plenty of opportunities to grab her own misses. In a sense, her stats are boosted by this pattern. Miss a shot, snag the rebound, take another attempt, and repeat. But does that truly reflect elite skill, or is it just making the most of repeated chances? Critics have suggested that her numbers can be a bit inflated, and there's some merit to that argument. Remember that so-called streak of double-doubles last summer? The media framed it as proof of Reese's dominance, but a closer look paints a more nuanced picture. Watch her positioning during games, and a warning sign quickly emerges. Reese often abandons her defensive assignments to chase rebounds. While her teammates maintain proper rotations, she's already moving for an easy board. This approach can leave big gaps in Chicago's defense, giving opponents open scoring chances. Yet, from a stats perspective, she racks up another rebound. In the final minutes of a game, she might have only a couple of points and a handful of rebounds while Chicago trails by 20. Then suddenly she appears to take over. Not with clutch plays, but by chasing numbers. She trims the deficit to 15 and finishes with a double-double, even though her actual impact on winning is minimal. Meanwhile, her teammates are doing the heavy lifting, navigating screens, boxing out, and creating opportunities, while Reese swoops in at the last moment to grab an uncontested rebound. It can feel like taking credit for a group project without doing much of the work. Some observers even suggest Reese might unintentionally boost her rebound stats by missing shots she could have finished. The question is understandable. How can a professional player struggle so much with finishing? But the bigger concern isn't just the inefficiency, it's what comes after. Instead of turning rebounds into smart plays, she often turns the ball over or forces low-percentage attempts. True elite rebounders, think Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley, or Breanna Stewart, grab boards and turn them into possessions that directly help the team win. Reese, by contrast, accumulates rebounds while her team struggles in the standings. One of the WNBA's most recognizable players can't consistently convert around the basket. In other leagues, such moments might be rare bloopers, but for Reese, it's become a recurring pattern. And if showing up when it matters most defines commitment, her performance in the unrivaled tournament tells a different story. The 3-on League gave WNBA players a chance to earn extra money and showcase their skills, and Reese joined Team Rose alongside talented players like Lexi Hall. But when championship night came, she was noticeably absent. While her teammates battled for the title, Reese missed the final 2 games of the tournament. Yes, she had a wrist injury, but she could still have supported the team from the sidelines, yet she didn't even attend. Despite this, after Team Rose won the championship without her, Reese somehow found a way to insert herself into the celebration via FaceTime, acting like a remote contributor. Imagine Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant doing that. It's almost unthinkable. But for Reese, it seemed enough to justify taking credit. She even posted on Instagram asking, "What are y'all going to say now?" as if she had personally led the team to victory. It wasn't just tone deaf, it was a revealing look at her approach to professional sports. Meanwhile, Reese's social media presence keeps growing, and her endorsement deals continue to roll in. When it comes to actual on-court performance, the difference is striking. Compare Reese to Caitlin Clark, and the gap is undeniable. Clark's stats, 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, are backed by elite skills that directly impact winning. Her shooting mechanics are flawless, her court vision exceptional, and her work ethic unmatched. After a 5-turnover game against Phoenix, Clark stayed after practice for extra ball-handling drills while her teammates headed to the locker room. Reese, by contrast, tends to respond to criticism with social media posts and brand appearances. Even WNBA veterans have noticed the difference. Diana Taurasi recently praised Clark's relentless dedication, observing that some rookies seem more focused on balancing basketball with personal branding. During a tough stretch of 3 games and 4 nights, Clark prioritized film study and recovery over media obligations, the kind of commitment that separates great players from the rest. At the end of the day, the stats and footage speak for themselves. Reese's media presence has far outpaced her on-court performance, creating one of the clearest gaps between hype and skill in recent memory. Meanwhile, players like Clark keep grinding, putting in the work when no one is watching. As fans, we deserve stars who focus on their craft, show up in big moments, and contribute to wins. Basketball isn't about Instagram followers or endorsement deals. It's about impact on the court.